What if you scribbled an idea on a napkin and it became a limitless scale tech company poised for exit? What if you had a vision of eliminating an inefficiency in your community, industry, or the world, and you had a chance to co-found a company and bring this product or service to the market? What if we could positively impact every social issue with tech? 10x Tech Tank is the #1 daily show for everything tech entrepreneurship. And whether you are technical or not, you will learn, be inspired, and witness transformation in the making. People will share tech ideas on napkins. People will showcase minimum viable tech products. People will explain their cash-flowing tech companies looking for acceleration. And if the person is right, and their idea is right, and the market is right, and the business model is right, then there's a great chance you will witness some serious magic. We are on a mission to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. And we invite you to make history with us. Together, we achieve more.
Welcome to 10x Tech Tank. Jared Yellin here, and
my name is Eric Nowoslawski.
So Eric always wants me to pause. He's like, let's. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna change it up every single time. What are you lit up about right now? We're in the tank. We're in the tank, baby.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm lit up about. I'm lit up to hear another 4 ideas, another 4 possible ventures that we're gonna go on, because we want to say yes, right? Every time we hear an idea, we want to be looking for the people with the right idea in the right market, with the right business model, and of course, that right person that we're looking for. And now we're gonna see another 4 people, and we're looking for that right person to say yes to, and I'm always excited to say yes.
It's so exciting. I was having a conversation the other day with this extraordinarily successful entrepreneur. He had one of those seed ideas. He started it in his apartment, ended up selling the company for hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars a year later. And we were talking about what we're doing with 10x Incubator. And he's like, you know what I love most about it? Is that the majority of the people that are coming your way with their ideas, there's nowhere else for them to go with them. They're just so conceptual, they're so early. For the most part, some of the ideas we get presented with are minimum viable products, others are cash flowing tech companies, but for the most part, they're really early. And there's nowhere for them to go. No investors are gonna give them the time of day, no software development firm is gonna bet on them. They're just too premature, and yet, those are the ideas that typically make the most impact in the world as long as they can get to the point of making an impact. And like Big E said, we want to say yes. Every entrepreneur that comes into the tank, our goal is to say yes, due diligence. Yes, due diligence. The only reason we won't is if it's not the right person, with not the right idea, that's not in the right market and not the right business model. But if it is right, we're a yes, but we do need your help. As you're watching us daily, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, please make sure that you're loud in the chat. If you see an idea and you're like, oh my goodness, we need that in our world, we need that in our industry, we need that in our community, please influence our decision. We always go through the chat, our idea review committee goes through the chat to ensure that we're not saying yes to something that should be a no, or no to something that should be a yes. So with that, let's see who our first entrepreneur is. We have Dante in the tank. Welcome, welcome, here we go. You got 5 minutes, share your big tech idea.
Sure. All right, perfect. Well, thank you for having me. I just want to say it's an honor and a privilege to make it to this point. So my idea, the problem that I've noticed for a lot of entrepreneurs is that the investment process for both entrepreneurs and investors is really a daunting process. When you have entrepreneurs who have startups and who are looking for that right investor to assist them with their resources that the investor may have, as well as capital, it's so difficult nowadays to filter through all of the information that's out there, trying to find that perfect investor. You know, as an entrepreneur, especially in the startup phase, you know, they are specializing in whatever it is that they do, whatever service or product that they provide. Not a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, really may be that experienced when it comes to landing and finding those investors. They have to filter through so much, and being in the information age now, it's too cluttered. So I want to try to make that process easier for those that have great investment opportunities, but they just don't have enough eyes that are seeing what they have. It's you know, Bill Gates, when he was trying to get his idea off the ground, he showed it to 1,200 people, 900 said no. 300 showed interest, 85 actually did anything, 30 took it seriously, and 11 made him a multimillionaire. And I feel like the process of, needing to make it in business, you have to have a somewhat of a decent network, but not everybody has a golden Rolodex. And they may not be at the point where traditional financing makes sense for them. So to eliminate that hurdle for entrepreneurs or folks that are looking to start their entrepreneur journey, I would like to create a centralized hub, pretty much an asset marketplace. So I'm calling it the Promo app. And, it started as an app, and that is the idea that I submitted to you guys. But like Seth said in the first Tech Tank episode, he mentioned that it's important for an entrepreneur to know when to pivot and when to grow. You may start with an idea, but chances are by the time it goes to market, it may not be the same idea that you had. So, it's being able to simplify the process. I would like to be able to pretty much take what is Shark Tank and make it into an app. But not only an app, but there's going to be a news feed that will allow investors to be able to see the most popular investment opportunities, general investment opportunities. They can look for specific opportunities. I'm sorry, I think my camera went out for a second. They can look for specific opportunities, but on a general news feed like you would have on Facebook or Instagram, where you can see the number of views or the number of likes.
You got 1 minute, Dante. 1 minute, Dante. Continue, please.
Sure. It's not only allowing it to be an easier, simpler way to look at deals, but making it a little easier for deal sourcing as well as investor sourcing, as well as those entrepreneurs that may need a bit more help. They may have, we'll have mentors that are available that can assist them through their journey. They may not necessarily need funding, but they just may need someone with more experience than they have in their field, as well as a virtual networking platform where they can communicate with other entrepreneurs and learn from their mistakes that they have made. Or
awesome, Dante. Thank you so much. So quick question, then I'll have Eric dig in because he spends a lot of time in the investor relations world. So how long have you been thinking about this for? Like, how long has this been grinding on you?
This has been for a few years. I started my first company, a franchise consulting company, in 2017, and we have a portfolio of over 500 franchises. And it's always been something to fully to dive into this investment process, the investment process. I've come to learn that it could be slightly easier. I've been that struggling entrepreneur in need of investment funds. I've started startups and had startups, and that process is never a easy process.
Do you agree, Eric? Yeah. So Eric, you spend quite a bit of time investor relations. We have a number of initiatives that require fundraising. What are your thoughts on access to the right investors?
Yeah, it's a really tough thing because so now information is out there, and you can get lists upon lists of all these investors and VC funds, but then matching them with your idea is the first problem that you have to solve. And that takes a lot of research as well and a lot of time, because you might be pitching to a VC that you have a SaaS software, but all they want to be doing is deep tech. And then now you shouldn't even be in that room, but now you're wasting both of each other's time, and it's a really difficult thing to do. I know some companies that get cornerstoned, the investment gets cornerstoned by huge execs of Fortune 100 companies, and they still have to go through and they have to make 2,000 pitches in order to complete their fundraise. So there is a lot of difficulty, not only around targeting the right VCs, but then also making the correct pitch and then making the deal correct and all of those things. So I absolutely agree that this is a problem. So it sounds like you want to connect people with the best VCs, not necessarily do the whole raise on this platform. Like for instance, Start Engine or Republic people go there and they can finish their whole raise. But what you're really doing is creating like a newsfeed of deals for an investor that they'd be able to scroll through, and then the other person would also have a newsfeed of investors that they'd be able to go through as well. Correct?
That's correct. That's correct. That's just one of the many benefits of this promo app. That's right.
Okay. So then, what would be the business model? How would the platform support itself?
So, well, there would be an investor subscription fee, success fees, advertisement fees. Again, you can allow privately held companies to be, my apologies. You can allow privately held companies to utilize this platform and promote their investment opportunities, as well as startups and franchises. But again, it's not industry specific, like you guys hit on. It's across the board with all industries. You know, it'll be very user friendly, where there is a general news feed, but again, you can search for specific investment opportunities in certain industries. There are VCs, a lot of VCs really focus on like the tech industry, or they may even focus on a certain amount of gross revenue that a company has already needed to make prior to qualifying to even be represented on their platform.
So how do you get to market? How do you get, because it's a two-sided marketplace in some ways, right? So how do we get investors on there? And how do we get the businesses looking for investment? What's the go-to-market strategy?
Well, it definitely would require a lot of promoting. You know, we have to. It would need to be something that will. We would need to let it be known that this is that one centralized hub. This is the go-to area or the go-to site to promote your business and to see businesses and investment opportunities of all types. You know, if you notice a lot of investment opportunities, you may find a lot of people use all the different social media apps, but it's all over the place. There isn't if there's an investment opportunity you want to look for, there is not one specific site that you can go to, and it will cover all of the industry. So I would like to promote it as that, to say, hey, we're making it easier. This is the go-to site. Everyone that has an opportunity, an investment opportunity, this is the site that you need to sign up for. You have IG, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have Clubhouse.
Cool. All right. So in the chat, let us know if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking to raise capital. Are you struggling right now? Like if you're an investor looking for a deal flow, are you wasting your time on the wrong deals? In the chat, let us know, would you use this platform? So Eric, what are your thoughts on next steps with due diligence?
My thoughts are that I think we've clearly identified the problem here with the startups and how they want to raise money and their problem there. But I think we need to hone in on the problem for the investors. The investors don't actually need more deal flow. They need more quality deal flow. So the platform would need to do something around giving them quality deal flow and being able to filter out the stuff that they don't want to hear about. So I'm a yes on doing some due diligence. That I just want to take a bigger look on the investor side of the problem.
So I'm a no, but I'll tell you why. And I'm willing to be convinced, and maybe the chat can convince me, or maybe you'll convince us, and you'll send something to us to move me in the other direction. So I'm a yes on you. I like you. I think that you have the right energy. I know that you're going to do something massive in the space of tech entrepreneurship as well, but you didn't have like solid, certain answers to questions, like even the go-to-market strategy. It was like what everybody would say. Like, I want to know, like, what's like the disruption that you can do to get attention for the right people? And like, I have ideas, but we really want founders to come with their own ideas in that space. So I'm a yes on you on one hand, and then on the other hand, I'm like, I'm looking for more. With regard to the idea, I think as a concept, yes. Like as a concept, there needs to be a platform that gives investors access to more of the right deal flow, because right now they're wasting a lot of time, like a ton of time. And what they're missing are some of those needles in the haystack that they have so much like unnecessary deal flow. They're not finding the ones that they're actually looking for. And then for those that are raising capital, they just burn out because they're doing 2,000 pitches to do a raise or 100 pitches, and it just doesn't work. Like we have a totally different approach. Like when we fundraise for our own deals, we'll make 5 phone calls and finish the deal. Like the level of precision we take is so insane, but most aren't doing that. So like with regard to the idea, I didn't hear that, but maybe there's more there. It's 5 minutes, so I understand that. The market. So the market is prime for this. but more than ever. Like entrepreneurship is the new thing. Like this is just the path for people, and they're going to need access to resources. So that's clearly defined. Your way of getting to the market needs to just stand out more. There needs to be more attention than just, this is the go-to place. It takes a lot for something to become a go-to place. And the financial model I like, there's all different ways this is monetized. So I'm not a yes. Eric's a yes. What does the chat think? What do you think about Dante's idea? And Dante, we're always willing and eager to be convinced that either he's right and I'm wrong or vice versa. So feel free to follow up with us. But in the chat, let us know what you think. Now, one of the ideas that came through to us was one that I was a yes for the right person, but I couldn't really speak into their idea or the market or even the financial model. And the company's called Field Pocket. Check out this commercial right now.
What if you could increase profit and transparency on your farm for generations to come? What if you were able to save dozens of hours each month? What if you were able to reduce the time and stress spent on bookkeeping during harvest season? What if we had an answer to your prayers? The solution is called Field Pocket. Field Pocket is a software application to keep track of farmers' harvest data. From grain contracts to managing delivery tickets and settlement sheets to linking all the documents in organized reports. The app automates previously manual tasks on the farm to create a more efficient and reliable tracking system for farmers, allowing them to ditch their paper and pen approach and automate data analysis related to grain tracking and payments. But enough of the tech talk. Field Pocket will give you time to spend with your children. Field Pocket will eliminate the stress of running the business of the farm. Field Pocket will reap you benefits that you never thought possible. Here at Field Pocket, we aim to increase your quality of life on the farm for generations to come. Simple as that. We invite you to join a Field Pocket family so that you have more time for your family.
So the reason I was yes for the person was Peggy just stood out. Peggy is a mom of 6. She lives in Nebraska. She's what she calls a farmer's wife, and she had a problem, which is the business of the farm is really inefficient. So when it comes to the relevancy of the person, someone that understands the pain, I mean, there's no one that I know that is more relevant than Peggy, but I know nothing about farming. So Eric chimed in, and Seth chimed in, and Monty chimed in, and our team started chiming in. They're like, no, there's a real meaningful opportunity here, and that's what Field Pocket is. A real meaningful opportunity if you own a farm or if you know someone that does. Please go check out fieldpocket.com and join us. This is going to give you back time, and it's going to eliminate stress from any farmers' wives out there or anyone that's running the business of the farm. All right, let's see who's up next in the tank. We got Courtney in the house right down the hallway. We love when people on our team have big tech ideas, and I know Courtney's got something really juicy today. So Courtney, welcome to the tank. Just so everybody knows, where are you calling in from tonight? And then please dive into your pitch for the next 5 minutes.
I'm calling from Miami, Florida.
Awesome. Let's do it, Courtney. Great to see you. Please take it away.
Okay, so I'll dive right in. One of the biggest problems that fast-paced businesses have is getting the time to put their deals in writing. We all are working at warp speed. We're getting on jets, getting off jets. We're running through airports. And when we don't have the time to memorialize and write down what we're doing for contracts, a lot of problems can happen. I know this because I'm an attorney and I litigate these things, but I'm also a law professor. So I know exactly what we need to simplify the contract process so people can do them on the fly in 15 minutes or less without having to write down one word. So because we are doing these deals at warp speed, quick discussions and handshakes and conversations before moving on to the next deal are part of our new normal. When disagreements arrive over these oral agreements, people spend years trying to figure out who said what, who disagreed with who, and sometimes somebody's just trying to screw you over. Let's just face it. And sometimes contracts are not even valid if they're not in writing, but people do them anyway. And then when problems arise, somebody's out a lot of money. So what I am going to do to save time and save people lots of lawyer fees is I created Scribe. So Scribe is it's an app that uses 5 or 6 different types of existing technology, such as blockchain encryption, JavaScript, of course. We also have artificial intelligence and machine learning, and it operates like a cross between Otter, Rocket, Lawyer, and all these other things that we use. And I have a little list of the competition, and none of them do everything all at once. So basically, Scribe is a video call. and you guys say what you want. There's a script. You click a few drop down boxes. So you get your jurisdiction, you get all your boilerplate terms, literally in less than 15 minutes or less, with a brief conversation and answering a few simple questions. You have a written agreement sent to your email. And on top of that, one of the other biggest problems that this solves is when people do have disputes, they don't have evidence. So you also get a compressed video of the video conversation that you agree in your terms and conditions that can be used as what we call parole evidence in law. So this creates a bomb-proof, fail-safe, airtight, waterproof contract. And if there is a dispute that arises, you both agreed that you could use your video as evidence. So the judge can say, hey, you said you were selling 45 bushels of apples, not 45 bushes of apples with worms in them. And that is the brilliant part, because when you do get to a contract litigation, that's usually, it's a he said, she said, well, I thought this, I thought that. So because of the way Scribe is and the questions that it asks, there's no one who can say that, because you're both agreeing to the other person's statement. So, I'll say, I'm selling Jared a $45 bucket of apples, and he'll say, yes, I am buying a $45 bucket of apples. And you just can't get out of that. And at the end of the day, if you're doing a contract and it's something that's supposed to be in writing, then you've got it in writing and it gets emailed to you. You sign it on your smartphone with your finger and you're done. 15 minutes or less, you have a written contract from a verbal conversation, answering a few short questions. And you also have a video, compressed video, that you're allowed to use as evidence in court in case it does come to a dispute. Scribe.
Oh, court.
What a
coming
pitch.
up late tonight.
That was
All
great.
right, Eric, you got the first question. I got a few questions. This is awesome.
So I think my first question would just be, I think I already know the difference. I'm going straight to, what's the difference between this and DocuSign? It's the fact that it's kind of that liquid syntax where whatever you said on the video is being put right into the agreement immediately, correct?
Yeah, so with DocuSign, you actually have to sit down and draft it. And if you go to a lawyer and have them draft it, they're lawyers with contracts. I mean, contract law was created in the 17th century and it still operates the same. They're going to add in all your hence, hereto, forthwith. They drag on a lot of time. Lawyers can sometimes make the deal go cold because they take so long getting you your first draft. So DocuSign is, you already have to have the document. With Scribe, you make the document from your conversation.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Really cool. So like in the scenario of like when Grant and I decided to co-found 10X Incubator, are we both on Scribe together at the same time? Like saying like, okay, Grant, this is what you are agreeing to. He's like, yes, I'm agreeing to that. So are both parties on together? Scribe is capturing it and then placing it into kind of this like boilerplate agreement. And then is there anybody reviewing the agreement after, or speak into the process?
Okay, so that's part of the upsell. So here's how the process works. Picture a FaceTime call or a WhatsApp call where one of you's in the, your face is on the little corner screen and then the person you're talking to is on the big screen. So you call each other inside the app. So you both have to have it. So I'll call, like say, using Grant as the example, Grant calls Jared and you guys are on each other's screen. And there's a script. Instead of seeing yourself, you're going to see a little script. And first you have to, what kind of contract is this? Give us a few words. And then that's where the machine learning comes in. So you'll say a contract to buy and sell. So a buy sell template pops up. And if that's not right, you have, is this right? No. What is it? So we're actually, I'm licensing something. Okay, so it's a licensee agreement. Pop that, the template pops up. A lot like Rocket Lawyer. So picture Rocket Lawyer now.
Yep.
So this pops up. Then we read the script to each other. I, Courtney Bannon, agree to buy 45 bucket of apples, and Jared Yellin, agree to purchase these bucket of apples. And then we go through the price, and then you have to both say that you agree, and you both have to check the box. If you both check the box, it moves on to the next thing. And then that's how that works. So if you guys don't all check the same boxes, then there's no agreement, because that's one of the 4 necessary elements for a valid contract is agreement. It's called mutuality. So that gets that right there. If you don't have mutuality, there's no agreement. That's the #1 litigated issue in an oral disagreement. So that takes care of that. So then after you have your video conversation, it transcribes it, puts it in the top part of the contract. And then it asks you, do you just want boilerplate terms for your jurisdiction? And then they're already pre-checked. So you can look down, and if the guy goes, no, I don't want a non-compete, you uncheck it, and then it won't populate into your final agreement.
Great. So you wouldn't be able to just put it on top of Zoom and run it on Zoom. You would both have to get onto the Scribe platform and do the deal there.
And that's part of it. So that's part of the revenue generating is a very small charge for the app, and then a very small charge for the generation, and then tons of upsells inside. Let's say you want this reviewed by an attorney. We'll have it back to you in 48 hours or 24 hours with attorney comments, and that's this much. Do you need electronic notarization? Does this document require notarization? Which we'll tell you if it does or not, depending on what type of agreement it is. And then that's another upcharge. So, and then of course, advertisers, if there's like a companion app that would go good in there, like my next idea, which is called Hatch, but I'm not pitching that one today. You might want to have some, in-app advertisers.
Cool. So how do we get to market? So how do we let people, entrepreneurs, business owners that are in the world of deals know about Scribe?
You know what? I think that would be very simple. If you have like even just 10 people doing beta testing and talking about it, I think everybody would jump on board. And the beauty about it is it doesn't have to be just for written contracts. It can be for letters of intent. Let's say you're on the jet and you're driving somewhere and you guys come up with this great idea and you know that it's going to require a lengthy attorney process because it's that big of a deal. Then you can also select letter of intent. You guys just talk about it. It just transcribes it, and then nobody misunderstands what the other person said. It's like that kid game, Whisper Down the Lane, where you get to the end and then you start out with one sentence, and by the time it gets to the fifth person, it's something completely different. It's a lot like that when you're having discussions, because we only remember things from our own point of view. So later on, when you're trying to remember what you guys talked about, you really are kind of looking at it skewed from your own point of view, which is normal. So that's why Scribe is important. You just get on the app, you can use it just to record, and then it'll actually populate everything. And you can, one of the things that I wanted to do with it, like if you're like Jared, you could actually use your branding inside of it, and it'll automatically populate the templates with your logo, with your name, everything.
Courtney, I'm loving it. So in the chat, let us know, what do you think about this, extraordinary disruption in the space of legal? Eric, what are your thoughts?
So I actually didn't even know, but electronic agreement signing is so much bigger than DocuSign. It exists in it's its own industry, it's its own niche. PandaDoc just reached a $1 billion valuation within this industry. And what I'm hearing here is something that truly is disruptive, where, if you have a PandaDoc, you have a DocuSign, someone has to create that document. Oh, yeah. You have to get it all, formalized, and then it might not totally fit the deal that you're working on it with, and then they just sign it anyway because it's the only document that you have. What I'm loving about this is you're able to create that agreement on the fly. You have all four parts of creating a contract, and then everybody is signing off at the same time, and they know exactly what they're getting into, and you're creating transparency around that. And Courtney's absolutely right that legal processes could absolutely make deals go cold all the time. So I'm a yes. I think this is a really great idea.
I'll tell you why I'm a yes, because I'm not just a yes, I'm a hell's yes. The deal process, and you know this, Courtney, right? It removes what actually should be present between the parties, which is like excitement about that next step. And it becomes so labor intensive and it's so expensive. And then as a result, it could take months for a deal to actually close just because lawyers are going back and forth. And in the process, the people that are doing the deal, maybe they're not talking because it's awkward, they're not there yet, or maybe they're getting looped into it. So now there's like frustration and anger. What I love about this is that everybody that's agreeing to a deal is able to capture it in that moment. Documents are published on the spot. If a legal review is needed, it happens within like 2 days. Like it's absolutely a disruption. I'm a yes. If you're in the chat and you're anything but a yes, I want to shake you because this is so needed in the space of everything to do with deals. Courtney, thank you so much for coming to the tank. Your pitch was on fire too. Absolutely love it and can't wait to go through this process with you. So one of the things that we are desperate for, always at 10X Incubator, is talent. I feel so blessed about the team we've been able to build here. Getting to work with Eric and Seth and Monty and Dan, our copywriters, our graphic designers, our video production team, our engineers in India, but yet we need so many more people. We're always hiring, literally always. Every time we're like, okay, this is the last person we need on go-to-market for a little bit. Maybe 48 hours later, we're like, we need another person. And the reason for that is we always say that 1 week is 1 year. 1 week inside of 10X Incubator is like 1 year in the real world. If you want to join, by far, the most exciting opportunity where you can be both an entrepreneur and an employee at the same time, it's 10X Incubator. Check out this commercial.
Hey guys, come work for the most innovative company in the world, 10X Incubator. We're launching 10,000, listen to me, 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. If you're a coder,
Yep.
what?
We got
programmer,
coders, we got graphic designers, we got copywriters, digital marketers, biz dev.
you name
Listen,
it.
You
If
got
you
skill.
like tech, love tech,
hungry.
want to be in tech, okay? We don't actually require that you get the jab here either. Just so you know, if you want it, good. If you don't want it, no problem. We are hiring. We want you. If you're good at your job, if you're disciplined, if you want to be paid well, if you want to be taken care of, if you want to be in a 10X environment, click the link below, give us your resume and a short video, 30-second video. Just tell us who you are, tell us what you do. We want you. We want you.
Let's go.
We want you.
So what do you think? What does it look like for you to work with Grant Cardone, myself, Eric, and the rest of our team? If that lights your world, then there's one thing you gotta do right this second. 10xincubator.com/hiring. We're hiring creatives. We're hiring project managers. We're hiring strategists. We're hiring engineers. We're hiring people that want to ride or die with us. They want to go on the journey to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. If that lights your fire, please apply today. All right, let's see who's up next. In the tank. We got Dominic here. Dominic, where are you calling in from tonight?
I'm calling from Victoria, British Columbia in Canada.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Dominic, thank you for being here, man. Please take it away. You got 5 minutes to share your big idea.
Thanks. So I share my screen.
Please do.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let me know when you can see it.
Yep, go for it. We see Grant,
Right.
Eric Warre.
So I know that Grant and is really involved or has been really involved in the network marketing business model. He's worked with people like Eric Worre and that. So I assume you guys know about the network marketing model. It's
Yes.
basically like affiliate marketing, but with the option of having a team. So about 5 years ago, my wife launched a network marketing business. I was a bit familiar with it because my mom had done that like 40 years ago. And so I found myself sitting in this stadium with 16,000 other consultants, thinking to myself, I'm an engineer. I'm a software engineer. I know what my wife had been going through with her business, the tools that they had, the training and stuff. And I thought they're really lacking in the tools. This was when mobile was big, right? And there weren't any tools on mobile. I thought if I could build something and get everybody in this room to pay me $10 a month to use it, that would be amazing, right? And that's where my journey started, was that thought. So I spent some time and I built a mobile CRM. And that took about 2 years, and I had some beta testers using it. And I noticed a shift in the industry at that point. This is when things started to move to social and online. And one of the big changes was attraction marketing. This guy, Mike Dillard, had written a book a long time ago. Actually, I've been following him for a couple of decades. And there's these top earners who had built their businesses using attraction marketing and automation. And that's where I saw people moving. They wanted to have that, that easier way of building their business. And so I did a pivot, right? And I aligned my business to target that need and end up building a complete platform, right? I had all the pieces that you needed for attraction marketing, automation, and social media all in one. So we have the integration, the Chrome extension. We have an integration into Facebook. So you have these icons that are added, so you can click on them and get information about prospects. This particular prospect has an upcoming task, so there's a different icon. And we're integrated into profiles, so you can download a profile into the CRM with one click. It just scrapes the profile, gets all the information from it. So it saves the consultant a lot of time. And with things like posts here, we can download the post so that it can be scheduled for posting somewhere else. Like if you want to take a Facebook post and put it to Instagram, for example, or somebody else's post or a team member's post, you can schedule things. We can also add automation here. So for example, in this post, this guy is targeting business builders right? And that's my audience as well. So I can piggyback on his efforts by adding automation here. So anybody who comments on this post will be downloaded into my CRM and can be added into, automatically added into some automation, right? Send them a message, say, I like your comment, and get the conversation started. And of course, we're integrated into Pinterest and TikTok and, with these buttons here, and Instagram and Twitter. We've also integrated into Gmail, so you can work your business inside your Gmail here, or Hotmail and Outlook, right? It's all the same user interface. And this is kind of what the website itself looks like. So the website is mobile friendly, and we have a menu with all your tools. And basically what the consultant gets is all the tools they need on one platform. They all work one way. There's no tech involved. You never have to copy paste URLs or set up things like connect your Aweber to your ClickFunnels and all that kind of stuff, right? It's all in one package. And there's nobody out there doing that breadth, right? There's people doing little pieces, but nobody's doing everything the way we are. And we have a funnel builder. We have a drip sequence builder, and drip sequences do emails, SMS. I know that one of the anyways, I know that that the SMS is very big, and social media messaging. Everything can be in one drip sequence like that, and it's very powerful. We have a scheduler here. I just got to move the screen over here. So we have a scheduler, so you can take your posts that either your company's produced or you have produced or that you've downloaded from social media, like I demonstrated before, and you can just drop them into the schedule that you've decided on for all your channels, right? You've got Facebook pages, groups, personal feed, and on all the other social media platforms, right?
Yeah, 1 minute, Dominic. Great job so far.
Thanks. So, and you got training, team training in here, so you can build your training. The lead can build their training, or the company can build their training. We've got e-commerce in here, so you can sell courses when you become a coach, or when you want to do tripwires, things like that. And we've got all the marketing tools, chatbots and funnels and all the other ones I mentioned. We got Facebook advertising integration. So all the pieces you need in one platform. And our target audience is, we have 3 target audiences: the consultant. Basically, that's a leader. I target leaders to get, I target the aggregators. The leader comes with a bunch of people that are my prospects, right? A coach comes with a bunch of people that are my prospects, and a company is the same, right? That's the holy grail, is the company. And I have connections with people in all 3 areas. We have for consultants, we have all these tools. For coaches, we provide them with a white label solution that provides them with passive income, right? A coach works their butt off to scale, and they don't have any kind of passive income component yet. So we give that to them. For the company, for them, we offer them an opportunity to have visibility. So the companies have to follow the FTC rules about what people are posting. And right now, they don't have much control over that. Consultants can do so much damage by posting.
All right, let us dig in with questions. I want to acknowledge you before we ask the question. So you can stop sharing your screen. So we have been presented with, a myriad of platforms in the network marketing industry. And I just want to honor you. Like you hit on every reason why we should eventually say yes to one of these platforms. How you spoke into the leader, to the coach, to the company. And I just love how you really know your end user. So congratulations on that. So this is obviously live. How many users do you have, and what is the current price point?
So the current number of users, I have beta users, about half a dozen right now. I have, and the price point, because we have so many different features, we can build that value ladder, right? So an initial consultant come in at $20 a month with just the basic CRM that I demonstrated. And then when they're ready, they can add funnels and websites and the other tools, and that builds that value up to about $300. So for a leader, they can be paid about $300 a month. And our our take on that is a huge chunk, because it's so inexpensive to host, right? That's our main cost, is hosting, as well as marketing and the other things that go with it.
Got it. Cool. So so is this custom built, or are you using lots of different third-party tools and just putting it inside of a platform?
I decided to go custom build, and that has been really great because initially we weren't thinking about integrating with social media directly. But because we went custom, it was so easy to do that. We do use a few third-party tools like the page builder, things like that, but most of it is custom.
And are you approved on Facebook as an app on Facebook?
Yeah, we're approved on Facebook. Most of our integrations go through the public Facebook API, so it's all above board. We do a bit of scraping to do the things that Facebook doesn't allow us to do that way.
And sorry, you go.
And they approved you. They knew about the scraping, and they still approved you.
I don't know if they know about the scraping. They've tested the tool. Like in order to get approved, they go in and try it and use it. So I assume that they've tried that part of it.
Okay, great. And so, is it specifically for Facebook?
No, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter. We had LinkedIn, but we had to remove LinkedIn support because it's against their terms of use, right?
Yeah.
So we try to remain above board with everything.
Cool.
Great.
What kind of feedback have you heard from, I know you have 6 users, which is fine, but have you talked to any companies yet or coaches? Obviously, those 6 users are probably on the consultant side. Have you spoken with any of the aggregators, like the big aggregators? What have been their feedback?
So we have one coaching collective, like 6 ladies got together to build a coaching business. And so one of them is actually using the service to get more information about it. And I've been talking with one of the people on their tech team about making some changes because they want to change the user interface a bit. So there is some traction there. I have also talked to one very large network marketing company, the one that my wife is involved in, and they were really interested pre-COVID. Like I gave them demos, they brought in their whole team. We had discussions about what they wanted in it, and then COVID hit, and they grew like gangbusters and just had no time. So that's the problem I've had now is that they've just spent about $10 million upgrading their systems just to handle the volume because they actually grew through COVID.
Okay. I have a ton more questions, but in the chat, what are your thoughts on Dominic's idea here? Are you in the network marketing industry? Are you looking for an all-in-one marketing platform so you can get rid of everything else that you're using, from the Hootsuites of the world to the CRMs of the world to the email marketing, the text message marketing? You have one centralized solution. Eric, what are your thoughts on next steps?
I would want to head into due diligence. I think that this is a really great idea. You know me, I love automation and I love anything that can augment your messaging through any channel. So I'm a yes to talk more about it.
And it's so interesting. So when you started your presentation, and I think the network marketing industry is awesome. I personally haven't done it, but I've worked a lot within it as a tech founder. But literally every time we've been pitched so far on some software in the network marketing industry, within a second, I'm like, there's no way this can scale. And the reason is because people are fluid. They kind of move around from different companies. As you've experienced with your wife's company, it takes literally forever to get a decision. And I've sold things into that industry, but I love what you've done here. I think it's super unique. As long as everything is above board with all these integrations, you have a winner here. So I'm a yes on due diligence. Congratulations to you. I don't know how you pulled off what you pulled off with all those features in such a short period of time. I can't wait to get deeper into this with you. But in the chat, let us know what you think as well. If you're in the network marketing industry, is this a dream come true for you? Dominic, wonderful job. Thanks for being here in the tank. I'll never forget when we met Mike Searock. He's been one of those relationships that has been such a game changer for us. I want you to see what we're working on together.
Blueprinted is the place where you can go in and put those steps in there and then be able to impact the world and monetize on that by having a marketplace in the community that we're developing for you in Blueprinted.
So we've created the app for any expert to be able to come in and put their steps, their exact steps to success in our app and put it on a marketplace where people can go and buy their steps to any success.
So Blueprinted is a platform that I truly believe, and I know this is bold, and you're like, oh, that's Jared being Jared again. It's going to completely change the personal and professional development industry forever because it's going to produce results, outcome. I mean, the personal and professional development industry, it doesn't have the greatest reputation because people spend a ton of money on programs and courses and coaching and events, but they still don't get the results they're looking for. And it's not necessarily because they're not doing the work. They might just not have the right work to do. And that's what Blueprinted is about. I invite you, if you are a coach, a consultant, a health professional, an expert of any kind, and you've accomplished something, you need to be one of our first creators. go check out blueprinted.com/VIP. There's only a handful of spots left, and then they're done. We're having 100 founding members in our creator network, and I want to make sure you're one of them. All right, let's see who's up in the tank. We have Armando here. Armando, where are you calling in from? And please take it away for 5 minutes.
Hey, Jared. My name is Armando, and I'm calling from New York City.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. All right, take it away. You got 5 minutes. Share your big idea.
All right, thank you. So I wasn't able to share the slide in time, but I have my presentation, my pitch deck. So my idea is called Mundus cryptocurrency, a word for the world. And my brand and my motto is making the world a cleaner place, should be rewarded. So essentially, we're paying people to take action. We're not paying people to make the world a cleaner place with gift cards or concert tickets, but in appreciating digital assets. There's an organization that exists currently that does something similar, but they pay in subscriptions, they pay in gift cards, but we want to pay people in cryptocurrency because this is the way of the future, essentially. The problem right now, as it exists with our current economy, as of September 2021, the United States public debt is around 28.43 trillion. As with large debts, there's an increased inflation, and as inflation increases, printing money is an option, but that depreciates the value of the US dollar. And our target population right now, the target population that I'm aiming with this Mundus cryptocurrency is millennials. Millennials between ages of 25 and 40. There's about 72 million millennials right now in the United States, and Generation Z, which is the generation before millennials, ages 9 to 24, not wanting to pay 9-year-olds in cryptocurrency necessarily, but just a younger population, which makes about 68 million people. In a Pew Research poll, Generation Z and millennials were more active in addressing climate change. So this is really who I'm trying to gear this towards, is Generation Z and millennials in terms of taking action for environmental action, essentially. Today, there are over 6,000 cryptocurrencies. Mundus, the whole goal is to incentivize people, like I said, take direct action in reducing their own carbon footprint by changing one's habits. So some of the things that people can do as individuals is we want to pay them for taking a train instead of driving to work, carpooling, riding a bike, composting food, recycling and reducing and reusing plastic or any other things that can be reused. These are things that people are already doing. I see individuals every day in a New York subway recycling aluminum cans and plastic bottles. But we want to pay these individuals not in cash. Just like Grant Cardone says, cash is trash. We want to pay people something that's appreciating in cryptocurrency. As of this morning, according to Cointelegraph, there was, I think all cryptocurrencies combined have passed $3 trillion. Gold bullion, I think, is at 11 million. So cryptocurrency is catching up pretty fast. In terms of traction, this is where the 10X would come in and come in as my partner to launch Mundus. I would initially want to create like a white paper, just like Bitcoin did in 2008, to outline what the project is, how much money we need. And what we would do after that would do like what's called initial coin offering, similar to IPO. This is what Bitcoin did. As we know, Bitcoin is the most valuable cryptocurrency. It was the original one. I think as of today, it was about $65,000 for one coin. So we want to do the initial coin offering eventually, if you guys choose to partner with me as co-founders. In terms of marketing and sales, would like to utilize questionnaires and focus groups for Generation Z and millennials to get their ideas to do market research about cryptocurrency in general, what their thoughts are, and environmental issues that they care about. In terms of advertising, paid advertising, what I would like to do is use social media platforms that are the most popular in those who are crypto enthusiasts and crypto friendly. Telegram is one of them, Discord, Twitter, and Reddit. As of present day, November 2021, you can't advertise on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. It hasn't been allowed yet. Exchanges are allowed to be advertised, but not specific cryptocurrencies. So the ones I had named, Telegram, Discord, Twitter, and Reddit, those are advertiser friendly for cryptocurrencies. Individuals are in the initial point.
Wait, can we just talk about the cryptocurrency project? What is the sum it up? What is this project? What is it trying to accomplish?
What it's trying to accomplish is people taking direct action in terms of reducing their carbon footprint. And so we're going to pay people to take direct action. Ideally, I would like them to upload videos instead of pictures of them taking direct action. Like I said, instead of driving, I understand that it's not going to be feasible in places where there's not a good transit system, buses or trains. There's certain cities out west and in the south where they're not large metropolitan areas like New York City, Chicago. I know LA doesn't have like an amazing transit system.
And are random people just going to start paying people for doing these acts of good? Is that what it looks like? Or who's actually paying in crypto for people that are taking the subway now instead?
Well, we would be paying them, but we'd also offer the coin as an initial coin offering to build value and to add value to this cryptocurrency. Yeah, so that's the whole, like just similar to the IPO on a stock, the initial public offering. We would offer this at the initial coin offering, so individuals can also buy it as well as get paid for their social action.
Yes, but I don't think the tokenomics is making sense to me up until this point. Of what would be the reason? So yes, somebody's going to prove that they're doing something to reduce their carbon footprint. Who is going to be paying them to do that?
Well, it's essentially, I guess we would pay them, but it would be at a very this isn't something that's going to be extremely valuable. It's going to be like 1/1000th of a penny, essentially. Similar to every coin that's launched. Your Shiba Inus, your Dogecoin, where this is. And how we would generate that money is through paid advertising. That's how we would raise that money through paid advertising through different social media platforms.
And why would they pay though? Because they would want to pay if there's a lot of eyeballs on it, but why would they pay?
Yeah, well, exactly, because these are the platforms where people who are already investing in cryptocurrency tend to discuss and have group discussions. Your Reddit, your Discord. There's already, the ones I invested in that aren't your altcoins, essentially, they're already on Reddit. They have Reddit pages, things like AMP that's worth currently like 6 cents. Your other cryptocurrencies where they're less popular than your Ethereum and your Bitcoin already in Reddit. So they're advertising there. They already have their Twitter pages as well. So we can do advertising on there as well. And that's how we would kind of recoup the money that we're giving away to people. For taking direct action. And also, like I said, we're going to offer the coin through the initial coin offering so people can start purchasing it as well.
So in the crowd, what do you think about this idea? So there's obviously force for good here. So trying to reduce and eliminate the carbon footprint and rewarding people through crypto. Eric, what are your thoughts on next steps here?
So I was going to say the same thing. There's a lot to be said about this problem and the project. What's not making sense to me is the tokenomics, right? Yeah. In a marketplace, there has to be a buyer and a seller at all times. And so every successful cryptocurrency right now, they have some reason of existence, right? Bitcoin is this economic miracle. Ethereum is a smart contract machine. Cardano is similar. Why is this going to work out? I just don't see who's going to be the buyer of that video. Like who's going to be buying that video to say, this is something that I want to reward for. So for that reason, I would just put out a challenge to say I'd really want to see a clearer vision of the tokenomics.
Yeah, and I would as well. I'm not a yes right now. I think I just know there's too many unknowns with this. Although what I love about it is if it works, right? Like
Absolutely.
If it works and
100%.
people are rewarded to make better decisions to improve the overall carbon footprint of the world, like that would be, game changing. So I'm a yes in the force for good. I'm a no right now in what the idea is, but maybe we're missing something. In the chat, please influence us. Please let us know maybe what we're not seeing, or are you aligned with us? I was thinking the other day, after one of our episodes, how damn cool this is. Like we had a gentleman the other night and he pitched us an idea to radically change the winery industry. And then the other day, earlier in the day, we had somebody pitch us an idea as a firefighter out of Houston, a disaster management platform. And I'm like, this is so darn cool. These are people that have these ideas that are dreams to them, dreams that when they become a reality, impact either industry or the world. Maybe they impact certain niches that are large enough and it makes sense to build a tech company around. What I want to make sure that you're hearing in what I'm saying right now is that you might have an idea that's just like them. And the difference between you and them is they had the courage to take action on it. And that first step was just pitching us. That firefighter, all he had was a pitch deck. That's it. That's it. All he had was a presentation, but that was so much because he was able to take this concept, put it into slides, and then have the courage to present it to us. Our hope and desire, and by doing the show daily, is that every single evening we at least give one person courage. One person courage to get on the tank. Maybe dozens, maybe eventually hundreds and thousands. We have a thesis, which is everyone's meant to be a tech entrepreneur. You don't need to be technical to become a tech founder. I'm not technical, and I've done it. You just need to see some inefficiency that exists in the world, think of a solution, and then care enough about ensuring that that solution solves the problem. And if that's you, we invite you right now. Go to 10xtechtank.com and submit your idea. And if you're not there yet, what I at least would like to see you do is sign up to get notifications about when we're gonna go live. Because we go live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, and I never want you to miss an episode. Because I never know which episode is gonna be the one that gives you the courage to raise your hand and to move forward. In addition, we have a really cool gift. It's called the Perfect Pitch Kit. Eric and I have been part of thousands and thousands of pitches on the receiving end and at least hundreds on the giving end, maybe even thousands on the giving end. And what we've assembled is what we call the perfect pitch. It's a way to format your pitch so that you can raise capital, you can form strategic alliance, or even you can sell your product or service. So head over to 10xtechtank.com, fill out the form, and we're gonna give you a gift. And that gift is the Perfect Pitch Kit. So thank you for being with us tonight. As we always say, together we achieve more. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Which napkin will become the next exit? Which MVP will evolve into a unicorn? Which cash-flowing tech company will reach the next level? Our hope and desire is that it's yours. Your idea, your MVP, your cash-flowing tech company. Now is your time. Head over to 10xincubator.com and submit your idea so that you get on the tank and give us the chance to transform your napkin into an exit. That's 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com. Let's go.